Welcome to Friendly Differences 2.0. I am your outspoken host, Dread Empath, and with me, as always,
Co-host Solid Blue Sister.
and today we have Monday Night Mars. Y'all usually see him in the comments moderating, but today we are having fun. We're going to be talking about things that are just funny as hell to us. Some things are better left unsaid, but you can bet your sweet ass we're gonna say them anyway. So, so we were just talking about people who have the unmitigated gall to pick their nose in the car at red lights when they think nobody's watching. Now, me personally, I work nights. So I don't get to see a lot of the nose picking, but when I have to handle business during the day, I see a lot of people, and it makes me happy I work nights because people are weird and disgusting. And the things that people do when they think no one is looking, I mean, don't we have cameras everywhere?
Oh yeah.
Everywhere. So why are you? I see people scratch their butts, I see people scratch their nuts, and I'm like, have you no shame?
But you
No.
know what, Dread? When years ago, when I was working for corporate America, the security guys used to just laugh and say the stuff that they do in the elevator, especially women, not knowing that there's cameras in there, how they're, they lift up their dress or their skirt and they're fixing their pantyhose or they're digging or whatever. It's like, I'm talking about before cameras were really everywhere, but when you think about it, it's like, you know, in an elevator, wouldn't you kind of think that there were cameras? And even now, when you talk to some people who are, in charge of making sure that everything's, all right, whatever, that in elevators, people are doing things. I mean, people having sex in the elevator. I mean, they're doing some of everything, and let's talk about after you leave the elevator and you decide that you're going to take the stairs. The corridors up and down the stairways have cameras. So the stuff that people are doing, you know, you may not think people are watching you do all this weird or nasty stuff, but yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I get it. Some of us when we walk, you know, things get lodged in our nether regions. You got to dig it out. But there has to be some couth about it. You could do a little wiggle or something. Some people just I see people going for it. Just, hey, how you doing? Just
Okay.
I'm like,
All right. Now I'm gonna get a little bit gross, but I'm gonna say it. But
uh-oh.
because I know y'all seen it. I myself, I have never done it. I swear I have never done it. I was not one of those children, and I'm not one of those adults. The people that after they dig it, they gotta sniff.
The scratch and sniff.
Yep. Y'all know. Y'all know. Y'all know.
Oh man,
Mhm,
I'm sorry.
I work
Oh
with a
my
I
goodness.
work with a bunch of men. I've worked with a bunch of men for 16 years. I have heard farting, I have heard burping, and I have seen men do that thing where you hold your nostril and blow
No, okay,
everything out.
stop.
And
Okay, stop. Because I have seen that, and that's one of the that is to this day. It's like
one of the grossest things you can do. And I'm like, who
okay,
raised you? Were you
okay.
raised by a pack of wolves?
Last year, my husband came home
Uh-oh.
and he said, and I'm in the kitchen making something to eat. He goes, I need to tell you what happened when we were getting on the elevator. I said, when you say we, he says, we had come back from lunch and some couple of coworkers, whatever. We about to get on the elevator. I have to tell you what this man did. I said, stop. I don't want to hear it. I'm about to eat. I know what you're about to say. And he goes, no. He says, let me I said, no, I know what you're about to say. And he said, what? He just told me, Dred, what you just did about holding the nostril, coming out, wiping his nose, touching the elevator button, and everybody just kind of just they. He said everybody just kind of stood there, and the elevator came. People got off. He got on. He was the only, he was the only one that went up. Nobody wanted to get on the elevator with him. And then when the doors closed, people were like, "Okay, who's touching the button? Who's touching the button?" You know,
Nah.
so when my husband when he told me that, I was like, "See," and you laugh at me because when I go out, and this was even before COVID, my husband laughs at me because I wear gloves, and I kept telling him, I said, "People are
Are
nasty.
nasty.
They're nasty." I said, "The stuff that I see in the supermarket, whatever, I got my gloves on. I don't care. I'm telling you. I mean, and now what does he do? He's wearing gloves.
Gloves. Mars, you have told me that you work at a water park. Indulge us. What do people do at water parks besides the obvious of standing there with a sense of relief like this, letting you know what they just did in the pool? What have you seen people do when they think people are not watching?
I'm just gonna go for broke here because
Well, you may
this
as well because we
yeah
already.
because I'm one of those guys who it doesn't matter if you pee, you poop, you wash your hands with soap, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, with
Yes.
soap.
Yes.
This was yesterday. I can't make this up here. This is yesterday. I'm on break, go to the bathroom. So there's an Asian man and his son. Um, so they use the bathroom, use the commode, I use the bathroom. I go to wash my hands, washing my hands. The kid just walks out, and then he walks right behind the kid, looks at me like, and then I just put my head down. I'm like, oh, this happens all the time. These people will, oh man, there's people that poop in the pools. There are people. I mean,
Oh.
like you said, we have some real nasty people at the at. And listen, I ain't. I'm not one to judge because I'm not. I will say I'm a clean freak. I'm not perfect here, but you're never gonna catch me digging in my what. All right, and sniffing it. If I blow my nose, I'm using tissue. It's things like that. I just think that I think that even like we had a whole pandemic. We had we had to stay inside. We had to get the vaccine, all of that. And you would think that after all of that, stay 6 feet, wear your mask, all of that. You would think that people would still wash their hands. We're not even using soap. We're not even using water. We're just walking out the bathroom, and it's
Okay,
just
but Mars, I'm gonna tell you. I think women are worse.
They are.
I think women are worse. Hold on for a second. Welcome, Grid, Alicia, and hey, shy lady. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Women are the worst. Women.
Yes,
I
they
mean,
are.
I have seen women do some stuff that's in the bathroom. When I way back when I again the same company. Um, there was a woman who came, our senior manager from another um, building or whatever, another location was coming. And I'm in the bathroom and I see this woman. I had no idea who she was. And she's in the bathroom, uses the bathroom. And she does that little rinse thing. You know how these people just do that little rinse where they just rinse a couple of fingers and then they walk out. I'm like, your whole hand has just been up your cuckoo, you
oh
know.
man.
So so come to find out that this woman was coming to my department, and she didn't know my bosses. She's like, "This is so and so, this so and so." And she's like, "Hi." She's shaking hands, and she got to me, and I said, "Hi," and I'm holding my hands like this, and she looked at me, and she's holding. She says, "Hi." I'm like, "Hi," whatever. I'm like, I know you just saw me in the bathroom with you. If you think I'm just looking at her like, if you think I'm touching your hand, you're out of your mind. And that's another reason too. When I say I don't like shaking hands, all this stuff was
Mm-mm.
before COVID, and this is why I wear gloves and all this other stuff because people, and I'm serious, people are nasty. They not they nasty. They nasty.
Ain't nasty.
I'm gonna
They
tell y'all.
nasty.
Okay, I work on trains. I have been working on trains for 16 years. My first year, I was cleaning trains, and baby, I cried real tears on the railroad that first year. I did not know how disgusting people could be. I don't know how it's possible for anybody. Well, it's probably a little bit more fun to get it on in a train while it's moving the bathroom. But anyway, somebody left a tampon on the seat and it was used. And I said, why? It was the bathroom was 10 feet away. Why? And where I work now, our yard only has one bathroom. Now there are 16 of us in the mechanical department and about 40 in the transportation for one bathroom. Now, granted, there are bathrooms on the train, but men, y'all got your y'all got your equipment so you can go behind a tree. We have a trailer that's not being used. Every man in the yard, when he has to go to the bathroom, if he doesn't want to go to the other side of the yard with that one bathroom, they will go to the back of the trailer. Now, where it gets gross, sometimes we have little potlucks. As a rule of thumb, I make my plate first because I watch these men. And when they finish behind that trailer, they don't use hand sanitizer, wipes, or anything. They just go back there, wrestle with the bald headed champ, and come back. And
Wait,
it's
wait,
gross.
Dre. Okay, let's go back to the potluck thing. When
Potluck.
let's go back to the potluck thing. Are you
'Cause
talking
there's food
about?
involved here. Hold on.
Okay, you're talking about where everyone is bring something and everybody whatever. Okay, that's one
Mhm.
thing. I don't do potluck. I do not eat anybody else's food because if you cannot, first of all, you can't wash your hands just as a habit of washing your hands. Can you imagine what they're doing when they're home? And me, who has 3 dogs, okay, when I'm cooking and stuff, whatever, my dogs are nowhere around. Okay, they're not around the food. They're not around. I know. So with the potluck thing, mm-mm, mm-mm. And if
I
we
have a
ever, no,
I have an open space. So, my dogs walk all around, but nothing touches them. I don't have cats because cats jump on everything. I don't like it.
no, I don't like
But
that
I
either.
just watch some
No,
of
no,
these
but
people
no,
that I
I'm just
work.
saying the potluck, the fact that you are still, see, I can't, no, Dre, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I'll eat
girl.
no, I'll eat my food. I'll eat my food whatever I bring, but once
So,
I
so
saw
you're
her.
not eating, so you're not eating that cobbler that looks really good, but you, okay, okay, I'm just saying, all right, I'm just
I
Absolutely
saying,
not.
because I'm
I got
not,
a I got a sensitive stomach. I can't do that. I'll be out here barking and every no, no. And
I
but see that leads me into something. Potlucks and some things are better left unsaid. Like, is there a special way to tell somebody that their food is nasty?
yeah,
uh,
yeah, the shit is gross. I mean,
okay,
the shit is gross.
so are you saying that you taste it and it doesn't taste good, or I mean, are you purposely making a point of wanting to tell them, or did they ask you?
Okay, here's my issue, and I know nobody's gonna believe this because of how much shit I talk up here. I have a problem with telling people that their food is nasty. I will actually sit there and eat the whole
Okay, but
thing.
why? Okay, but I guess my question is,
If
so
they
you don't know?
ask,
Okay, so if they did not ask, then why are you even? I mean, you take a little bit of it, and if you taste it, you don't like it, then you just don't eat anymore. So why do you have
well,
to tell them? I mean, unless they're asking you, why do you have to tell them, and why are you eating it?
I mean, if something is too salty, then I'll be like, oh, you went a little heavy on the salt, whatever.
But again, I'm
But
asking you, are they asking you, or are you just
I,
volunteering?
I mean, if they're asking you, should you tell them? Should you tell
Yes.
them?
I mean, if
Yes.
if 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 someone were to say, Sally, I made the the mac and cheese, do you like it? Then I was saying, it's okay, or I mean, people make mac and cheese not the way I make it, whatever. But the thing is I've been around people who they've asked me how things are, and I basically say that, or yeah, you know, because my thing is this, Dread. If you don't want to know the answer, don't
Don't
ask the
ask the
question.
question. Easy.
Mars, do you have a problem with telling people that
Listen,
their food isn't?
I don't have a problem with it. Why? Because again, I'm a real picky eater. So, I'm not gonna eat everybody's everything. And for example, like I'm not gonna eat everybody's eggs. Like that's why I learned to make my own eggs because again, I'll tell the story, and if we're being fully transparent, my aunt, and God bless her, she's trying here. She made breakfast. I went to stay at my cousin's house, and she's like, hey, I got some scrambled eggs, and I got bacon, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm looking at it. You can just look at it. It does not look good. You can just visually see like the eggs do not look good. And I'm like, okay, and I'm young too, so I'm like, okay, let's try it out here. And I'm just going through it. And my cousin, I'm looking at my cousin. He's scarfing it down, scarfing it down, scarfing it down. And I'm looking at him. I can barely get a corner of the egg. It just looked bad. Like it looked like what's the eggs that they sell that they bring to breakfast or like at the hotels? What do they say? Powdered eggs.
It's
It
powdered
looked like
eggs.
and those
What are
eggs.
those?
And this might be an unpopular opinion, but those powdered eggs are better. Are some great eggs. Got to do them right, but they're good. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I try not to be mean. I know I've said it in a mean way, like, hey, your food fucking sucks. No, I don't mean it like that. But what I'm saying is like, if you know it's bad, I mean, if you know it's bad, I'm not gonna see. I wouldn't lie to anybody. I'm like, hey, ask me to rate the food. Oh man, this food is like a 2.5, maybe. It's pushing 3, but it's a 2.5. So no, I don't have a problem with it. I try not to be as mean, but let's be honest, a lot of people can't fucking cook. They can't fucking
Well,
Solid.
I
boil.
mean, and plus, and not only that, it's if you grow
It's a
up,
skill.
if you grow up with somebody who is not a good cook, but you don't know it because that's all you've ever had. Does that
All
make
you've
sense?
had.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
but yeah, I don't. One thing that I do not do, I will not drink milk, even though I don't like milk, but I will
Okay.
not drink.
Milk.
I will not drink any milk or any type of dairy from someone else's house, even if I'm at their house cooking whatever. I will not use their milk, and this is what I do, and I I grew up like this.
That's interesting.
when
I've never
when
heard that.
I when I because number one, I don't know how old the milk is. I don't know when you opened it.
Fair.
People have a habit, especially certain people have a habit of drinking out of the carton. I mean, I am totally serious. But one thing that my mom always did, and I have been doing this ever since, no matter what I get when I go to the store, when I open it, I always put the date on the carton or on the package, whatever, so I know when I open it. So I'm not going, when did you open this? And you're smelling it, whatever. I always put the date. I don't care what it
Okay.
is. I put the date on it. But when it comes to I have seen people at their homes where they go and they get orange juice, whatever. They're drinking it. Next thing you know, the sun comes, drinking it. I mean, it's just nasty. It's like,
Yeah.
and another thing that you're not allowed to do at my house, first of all, as soon as you walk in the house, you washing your hands. But you do not go into my refrigerator unless you wash your hands first.
That
So,
part. I have to tell you this funny story about my aunt. She let a friend of hers make the potato salad for Thanksgiving. And this was before the lady, everybody's so creative. Her. So we're thinking this is a woman over 50 in the church with a blonde wig. This is about to be some bomb potato salad. She said, I'm going to make the potato salad. She was hyper as hell. She goes upstairs. for all of 30 minutes and comes back down with a big ass pan of potato salad. And everybody's looking like, that was fast, but okay, maybe she had some made already. We say the blessing. We look down. First of all, it's yellow peppers in the potato salad. It is shredded carrots in the potato salad. We're all looking down. Now, black people, we want to taste the potato salad. And it's like 15 people in a room. And it seems like everybody simultaneously ate the potato salad because we knew that my grandmother cooked everything. So we've tasted that already. Let's taste the newcomer's potato salad. A hush settled over the room. The only thing that could be heard was crunching because the potatoes were crunchy.
So they were not cooked.
It had no flavor. It had onions, yellow pepper, shredded carrots. And this lady is, hey, how's it? How's the food? And we're all like, good, yeah.
Now see, for something like that, I would have said something like, are the potatoes cooked?
No, my grandmother was a very, very sweet woman, very passive. And we knew that if anybody had said something about that lady's potato salad, it was going to be our ass. So I was like, I said, I don't want to eat this. She said, you better eat it. I said, but it's nasty. She said, if you eat the whole thing, you get 2 pieces of sweet potato pie. So I'm weighing it out. Do I really give a damn about this sweet potato pie? Because you know what? It was so nasty. I wanted to wait till the next day.
But see, I would have had it out because I don't like potato salad. So I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat what I don't like. And I don't care who says it. And yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm like 12. My little brother is 2, but my little cousin, who's 7 and ignorant at the time, Daddy, this is nasty. I don't want to eat this. He's like, shut up and eat it. No, my other cousin, who is equally ignorant, she's like, hey,
okay, but is it ignorant or is it a child telling the truth?
Listen, children will humble you, okay? If you want to know something without a shadow of a doubt, ask a child. They will call you fat. They will call you ugly. Your hair ain't done. Children will tell you the truth. And that little dude, he was like, Daddy, this is nasty. I don't want this.
So this is what I'm saying. So was it ignorant or was it just the fact that he was telling the truth? That he didn't like it and he didn't want to eat it. So
even the greediest person in our family didn't eat that potato salad, and that motherfucker could eat everybody out of a house and home. He didn't eat it. I was bugging. I said, okay, see, this is okay. I'm not tripping because his greedy ass didn't eat it. But yeah.
See, I see. See, I don't know, because when it comes to people's food,
can't eat everybody's food.
Another way that you can get out of stuff, and if anybody's listening to this, and if I've said this to you, I'm sorry if y'all hear.
She's about to tell on herself.
but I'm telling you, one way that you can get out of stuff. Because what are people going to do? I'm allergic.
Oh,
silence.
I'm just saying, what are people going to do? Are they going to make you, eat this or make you eat that? Seriously. And another thing that I absolutely do not like. I like it a little bit if it's mixed in with certain things, whatever. I'm not a gravy person. I don't like mashed potatoes and gravy.
Oh, solid.
Okay, and I have had people who, and there's another thing that I also don't like. I also don't like people fixing my plate because they always give me too much.
True.
This is funny.
And they always know they give me too much. And and growing up, you've always said you got to clean your plate. You got whatever is rude, whatever. And I have been places where I have said to people, family members, in-laws, whatever, friends,
Don't fix my
I
plate.
don't like gravy. Oh, but you haven't tasted mine. As always, I haven't tasted theirs. You haven't tasted mine.
Why?
You
Why
haven't
do
tasted
people
mine.
do that?
You know,
Why do people do that?
if I'm with my husband and people give me something, I'll look at him and he'll go, give me your plate. Because he knows that I'm not going to eat it. And when they see me passing the plate and he's scraping it off, or we just switch plates or something, they just kind of look, and I will say, I told you I
I
didn't
don't.
like, but whatever.
Grave.
You know,
Right.
another thing that I do not like is I don't like lamb. Lamb has that gamey taste, whatever. I don't care who makes it, but everybody
I
always
love.
say,
Okay.
but you haven't had mine. You know, so but the
I don't
thing
like
is,
liver. I don't like
okay,
liver.
right, but
No matter.
so
Right.
I don't think that
So
you should say, well, here, Dre, well, here, taste. You know, if you say that you don't like it, I'm like, okay, cool, then I hope there's something else here that you can eat, whatever. But
right.
you don't force it on people, and that's why I say if people are being pushy or something that you don't like, I'm allergic.
That's fair. I like lamb and gravy, by the way. But hey, me personally, if you don't eat it, you do not eat it. That's my thing. But I'm like, okay, that's why you have a bunch of napkins at the table. Yes, yes. I think everybody has done that where they.
You know, but I mean, but still, I mean, again, you know, is it rude of the host to kind of push it?
Yes, it's
See,
very pushy.
I think that that's also right. I think it's rude of the host to push something that you know don't want, or if they're offering you something, you're like, oh no, no, thank you, whatever. Then that's it. You know.
So, how do you feel about vegans or
Okay. All
vegetarians?
right. So
Uh oh. Uh oh.
yesterday, I'm watching Ari Mel Melber on MSNBC, and he
Hmm.
had this. It was the end of the show, whatever, and he had these two people on there, and I can't remember who the comedian was, but she said something. I was like, "Damn, this is so true," because I think the same way. She says that she's tired of vegans who want to repurpose meat, and I was like, "What is she talking about?" People who oh, and Mars, you are frozen. Um,
Big time.
you are frozen. But she said, why is it that people want to repurpose meat where they want to put mushrooms in dishes? Because mushrooms, I love mushrooms. I will
Same
eat them
here.
by themselves, whatever, and they do taste meaty, whatever. They want to like put mushrooms or something in to say, well, it's meat like. It's like, no, it's not meat. It's, you know, they're mushrooms. And then she
Right.
said, and then she showed a photo of someone who gave her a hot dog that was a corn. I'm sorry, not corn. A carrot.
Cauliflower.
Carrot.
Okay.
It was a carrot, and it was, you know, it had the onions and everything on top of it. And she says, "This is a meatless hot dog," and she's like, "No, this is a carrot. This is a carrot with you know." Hold on one second. Okay, hold on. I got to get you off of here. Uh, not letting me kick you off.
A meatless carrot.
There we go. Yeah, a meatless carrot. So
Let me tell you something. If I'm supposed to get a hot dog and you give me a carrot, I'm getting up swinging. Okay.
I mean, but the whole thing is that vegans go through this whole thing about they don't eat meat, but everything that they eat, they put meat in it. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say this is a meatless so and so. This is, you know, this is a meatless this, or this is a meatless that. Why even say the word meat? Just say that this is a vegetable, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? It's like,
Okay.
Like Lovely Butterfly says, what is beyond meat? I don't know. You see, me personally, I have gotten far away from beef, and I've never eaten pork because I was brought up in an Islamic household. Chicken is starting to taste funny to me. So honestly, I lean more towards being pescatarian. Um, I don't know what the hell Beyond Meat is. You got these now. White Castle has the Impossible Burger where it's supposed to be meatless, but it tastes like it. I'm like, what is this? What is this? What? Now they're making meat, gluing it together. It's just
It's supposed to be
no,
plant
no,
based.
no. They have meat. They have meat glue.
It's
That's
Do
supposed to be
you eat?
it's supposed to be plant based. It's not really like it's not. It's so weird. Like they're just like it's so weird. Like I can't even explain it. Like
My
it's
ass.
like
I ain't never seen a burger come from grass.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like you said, the Impossible Burger and all of
oh
it. It's
boy.
really weird. It really is weird. But I just think that, like you said, like chicken is starting to taste funny. Pork. I mean, anybody who eats pork, you're a pig. But that's whatever. But I just think
Oh,
I
Solid, do
But
just
you eat pork?
hey, listen, if you eat pork, hey, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but
I wasn't gonna
pork
say
is bad.
anything. I was not gonna say
Pork
anything
is bad.
about the pork thing. I was gonna say,
Pork is bad.
what did you say before the pork?
Beef, chicken,
Oh, chicken. Okay.
yeah.
Is it because that chicken they're injecting so much stuff in chickens to make them plump, and that's why
Have you
the chicken is
seen
starting to be off?
have you seen the size of a chicken breast? Like a
I
boneless
mean,
chicken?
I
Have
mean,
you seen?
they're some of them are huge.
They
Yeah.
are. And I'm like,
So again, I'm saying, so is it because that they're injecting,
well, they
this
we know
stuff?
they inject
I mean,
steroids, but
I mean, again, look at how much stuff is getting recalled from the supermarket. I mean, they got Tyson's chicken nuggets that's getting recalled. Like, give me a break. Like that's supposed to be like artificial chicken, quote unquote, and even that's getting recalled. You know what I'm saying? If any more ground beef gets recalled, we probably ain't even gonna have no more. So you know what I'm saying? I just think I don't know. For me personally, I, I can never go vegan. I'm not gonna say never because again, I love carrots, I love celery, I love vegetables. I've always been a vegetable kind of guy, but man, you can't take the chicken out of me, man. You know what I'm saying? You got I got I got
only
to
Yeah,
have
a
something.
I mean, but what? How do you all feel about fish? Because I do like fish, but I don't eat the I always say this wrong. The tilapia,
tilapia.
because
Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
that's like
Don't eat it.
the bottom the bottom feeders who eat all kinds of junk and all that. Yeah.
Actually, though, that's catfish. Catfish are the ones that they're the bottom feeders. And I'm sorry, but you put some catfish and some good fish fry and deep fry that shit and give me some grits, I'm eating it.
It
But
depends
tilapia,
upon
absolutely
where
not.
it depends in catfish. It depends upon where it's from.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
tilapia
It
is a no.
No, no, no.
Tilapia is a
No, tilapia it is a no, and yeah, tilapia is ugh, is like it's just
I used to eat, man. That was like my favorite fish at one point was tilapia, and then like when I found out
when you
like
found out
what
what, yeah,
Trey just said, yeah, I was like, oh man.
yeah,
So again, catfish, I'm not really like it. Got to be. It depends on who cooks it. I have a
okay,
bad experience with catfish when I was younger, so it was like after that I was like, um, again, fish is great. I mean, I don't understand. You can fry it. Whiting is very good. If you want to dive into fish, it's good. Again,
halibut, bluefish,
halibut, yeah.
flounder.
It just has to be a certain kind of fish. You can't. It has to be to what you
catfish
like.
nuggets.
Catfish nuggets
Catfish.
again.
Yeah,
So listen, I have a bad experience with catfish nuggets. It's so bad.
but
Like
but let me ask y'all, like, since we're on the topic of food, okay, some things are better left unsaid, and some things you can't help but say, but you got to keep it up here. What is the deal? Is it just me, or are these menus just out of control? Like Wendy's, you have a baconator, okay? That is a triple cheeseburger with extra bacon and extra cheese. And I'm like, who's eating all of that? You know what a big back motherfucker you gotta be to eat a
Okay,
whole
okay,
baconator?
okay.
Look at her, look at her, look at her, look
There
at her,
are
look
a
at
lot of
Oh
people. No,
man.
hold on. There are a lot of people who will eat that stuff. I, for
Mm-mm.
one, am not a fast food person. I have not had Wendy's in years. I have seen people go to Wendy's, to Popeyes, to Chick-fil-A, to all these places, and they get tons of food. And you think that, okay, well, that's for mother, brother, sister, little, you know, little Bobby, whatever. They sit
No, that's
there
for them.
and they eat it for them. So you just say who's going to eat a baconator? Oh yeah, people are eating it because they're selling it.
They are, but I'm just like, and maybe it's because I had weight loss surgery that I look at food differently. But I just be looking at some of these people like, how's your bowel movements? Like with all that cheese, are you okay? You must crap a brick because okay, I don't know what is the thing with. Oh, and I'll take a diet coke. You just ordered a large fry, two Big Macs, two apple pies, and I'll take a diet coke. The diet coke is worse than the diet
Well,
coke
I mean, well,
is
it's, I mean, and more people are not drinking diet anymore. I think more people are going back to the just the regular Coke, regular
Yeah.
Pepsi, whatever, because
Makes
diet has so much
yeah.
stuff in it. But
Yeah.
the ironic thing is not that the diet is worse; it's the fact that you're eating all this food, and it's like, well, can I have a diet? It's like, well, why don't you just drink? I mean, is that diet supposed to cancel out all this food that you just ordered? It just makes no sense to me to say even to say diet because I think you're looking at these people and you're like, seriously, you just ordered all this food that you're going to eat, and then you're going to say diet something? Come on.
but see, we are among the holiday season and it is going to be, I mean, I hate going to the gym in January and February, all of the new year, new me people. And I'm like, y'all going to stay in the gym for about 3 weeks and then you going to go back to eating and then y'all going to be complaining in May. I don't have my beach body. You knew that May was coming and you kept eating.
Remember when the New Year, New Me was a thing? That
Well,
doesn't even
first of
exist.
all, people need to stop making yearly resolutions. They need to make weekly resolutions.
I like
because because when you do something, say you're going to do it for a year, I mean, unless you are really committed to it, you're not going to do it.
to do
And
it.
this is where these health places and these gyms and stuff, they make money in December, January. They make money because everybody's coming back. I'm going to the gym. Me, I am not a gym person. It is a waste of money for me. I have to do my workout at home because I cannot get in a car consistently and go to the gym. I just can't, And not only that is I don't want to work out. And here's my nastiness thing again. I know people are supposed to have their towels and all this other stuff. I'm sorry, I just can't. So I can
Okay.
work out at home.
I go to the gym every morning. I went from being I gained weight after a car accident. So I went up to 195. I just got on my scale. I am 184. So the other week, and I just wanted to slap this woman. I did. She when she got up, she didn't wipe off her machine and she left vagina juice.
Okay,
She was
okay,
sweaty.
okay, okay,
She was
okay.
sweaty. And I was like, I said,
I've just never.
I was like, I'll be lucky to only get a ringworm around here. And she just got up and just pranced her ass away.
And this is
And
why I don't like.
mm,
See, this is why.
I
I'm
know,
sorry. Go ahead.
Scarlett,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but
Go ahead.
and if we're gonna get into the gym thing, okay, let me say this for context. No woman has the right to be gawked at, harassed, etc., etc. Ladies, when you go to the gym, you know what you are wearing. When someone stares at you, do not act surprised. You bought those those pants with the padded ass that make you look like you belonged in a Cash Money Records video. Why are you mad that they're looking? I saw a woman, I don't know where she got these pants, but she had to pack them. And she was in the mirror just, and I'm looking at her like, and she was like, sorry, men only. I said, girl, you look like the Mucinex man. Ain't nobody looking at you. And I walked the fuck off. I had to deflate her ego real quick.
Watch the F word now here. We still on a
Sorry. But she really thought that I was looking at her. And my thing is, you are wearing that because you want someone to look at you.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for a minute.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm just saying. Now, for me, I personally don't like. I personally look sideways at people when they showing too much flesh. I am prude when it comes to that. I don't think that you need to go out having everything hanging out, whatever. But
right,
does that? How do I want to say this? Does that give someone the right to
gawk?
I mean,
no, and that's why I said no. You should not. We're all listen. When I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. I work out. I lift weights, everything. But certain things you are going to see. You're not gonna miss it. Nobody's paying attention to me in basketball shorts and a t-shirt. But I wear a double D bra. If I come in there with just a sports bra on and some tight shorts, somebody is going to look. That's just real.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna look.
All right. Okay. All right.
Listen,
Mars.
Listen.
Come on. Let's hear from a guy.
I'm gonna say this as a man, and this is very transparent here. But I'm not even going to use the gym. I'm just going to use everyday life. If you see a beautiful woman, me personally, I've always been awkward. I've always been weird. So my thing is, I'm not staring at her assets or whatever. If she's a beautiful woman, I'll just stare at her and be like, wow, like, oh my God. Like, and I'll just stare and I'll just stare and I'll just stare. And even my sister, if I'm in the grocery store, she'll be like, hey, snap out of it, say something, and it's not like, oh, like, hey, like I'm trying to be weird or creepy. It's just like, hey, I think you're beautiful. I just don't know what to say. As far as the dudes that's staring at the women in the gym, I never understood that. If you're bench pressing 480, right? When are you going to have the time to look at a woman's tatas? And then you get mad because she's like, oh, well, like, oh, why are you looking? I mean, he's a man. He's going to look, but I'm going to always argue against the man because it's like, dude, you're not coming to the gym for that. You know what I'm saying? And dudes just think that they have this level of how am I, like, it's like it's like a privilege. Like, oh, because she's wearing this, I have the right to look and all of that, bro. Like, stop being creepy, bro.
But it's that double standard. And I guess what I'm saying is, like, you're gonna say something about a woman that's wearing that, but what about that guy that comes in here with this very tight shirt, or his pants are too tight, whatever, he's showing his package, whatever.
I saw a guy like that. It made me uncomfortable.
I mean, I'm just saying that it just seems like that women just seem to
get the brunt of it. Get
the brunt, but
I saw a guy with tight, and I'm like, when he sat down, I don't know if he had drawers on or not, because I saw what the stork saw, because it was hanging. And
right. So this is what I'm saying. But we always seem to go to women. We always want to go to women. But I have a question. Can we go to the airplane? Can we get on the airplane for a moment? So
come on, Solid. What you got for us?
All right. Go. So I know you all have heard stories about people who, let's say, dread you reserved seat 10C, which is an aisle.
Yes.
You got A, B, C.
T, yes.
You get on the plane,
Oh, wait a minute.
somebody's sitting there. Someone is sitting there, and they say, "Oh, I want to sit." I mean, they just don't ask whatever. They just sit down because a lot of people are doing that now. They just sit down and say, "Oh, I want to sit next to my friend, or this is my mother or my kid, whatever." You can have my seat. It's a window. Well, first of all, don't assume that everybody wants a window because I am an aisle person. Okay, and you say, "Well, where's your seat?" I'm in 34. I'm in 34A. So first of all, I paid for this seat. And usually if you're in 10 or something, you pay extra for the leg room, whatever. So how do you all feel about that? And when people get mad because they don't want to switch, or your child is sitting someplace else, I'm like, if you knew that you were going to take a flight and your family was going to fly, you should have been proactive, got your tickets early, and had it where everybody is sitting around each other. I don't care if it's your kid, I don't care if it's your grandma, I don't care who it is. I'm not giving up my seat. And number
I'm not mad at that.
and I'm pissed off, number one, because you didn't ask. You just sat your butt down in my seat and going, "Oh, by the way,
I'm
no."
not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That first of all, it's I don't like when people wake up and choose or entitlement and audacity. If me, you, and Mars are flying somewhere, and okay, today is November 11th, and we know that we got to take a flight in May. There is no reason why we cannot reserve our flight, all three sitting together.
Mhm.
Now, if Mars doesn't pay for his flight, that's not
Yeah, that's not your
okay.
problem.
That's
Right,
unfortunate. Okay. But hey, we're going to have to sit apart for about 7 hours. It ain't going
Yeah.
to kill nobody. And it's not for him or us to inconvenience somebody who paid for their flight.
right,
That's not my
right.
problem.
Right. But you have more and more people, you have more and more people who are doing that, and that sense of entitlement, that sense of entitlement,
Bring
you
them back
know.
to reality.
I think
So,
that I'm more of a window seat kind of guy. So
Same
Erica,
here.
Erica Badu.
let me ask this. 10C, 34A, you're going to sit in 34A? Or
Mars,
even or
34,
even or even or
34.
even or even if it was 10, you had your window seat, you were in 10A, and they're like, "Well, I have a window seat in 34A." You gonna go all the way back to 34A?
Not if I pay for the ticket, no.
you
if I
know so
if I pay for the ticket, then again, we live in a commercial society, so I'm going to get what I paid for. You know what I'm saying? I think that, like you said, the entitlement is there, but then again, that's with everything. That's not just with a plane ticket. You know what I'm saying?
but
People
you
want to
have
change
people.
the rules how they see it, and I think that just goes into looking out for one another as humans, as people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. Hey, maybe this person doesn't want to sit here, but I'm not, like you just said, I'm not going to inconvenience myself because I know that I paid for this. I paid for this months in advance. I didn't pay for it. I didn't hot shot the ticket yesterday. So, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to know them to know that. But again, I know I paid for it. And if I don't get my seat, we're gonna have a problem up in here.
You're gonna have a
Not,
huge
For
problem.
real. We're gonna have a
I'm
problem.
I'm not
And
gonna lie though. Kids, I got a soft spot for kids, so
no, see,
I
no,
might give
no,
up my
no,
seat to
no,
somebody with a
Listen,
kid.
no,
no,
I'm
no,
not gonna
no.
lie.
no,
I'm
no.
not doing it. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't care if you're a friend of mine. I'm not
Ooh,
doing it. I am not doing it. I paid
let
for
them
my
know.
ticket.
Let them know.
I got this, whatever. You should have bought yours. And Shy Lady says she agreed wholeheartedly. They knew the deal when they
Agreed.
purchased the
Yeah.
tickets. If it meant that much, pay extra. No one is entitled to anything they didn't purchase. So I'm like, no,
I can't be mad
sorry,
at that.
sorry,
Agreed.
sorry. And
Agreed.
then and this is why, and I'm gonna sound bougie and I'm gonna sound stuck up, but this is why when I fly, I don't do the economy thing. I do first class because I'm not dealing with the BS that's going on behind the curtain. I'm
Speaking
not dealing with
of
it.
BS on the plane, what is with people taking their shoes off and putting their feet next to strangers? People, stop doing this. Stop doing this. I don't like feet. I don't like feet. I don't like
Is okay.
anybody.
So is it the entitlement thing, or just people just they don't care?
I think
I
it's
mean,
both. I think it's both. They're like, oh well,
the
I
fact
have
that
to
you
get
are
comfortable.
literally putting your usually your feet are dirty, and you're putting your foot like, do you think that I'm, if I'm trying to sleep or whatever, if I'm eating, I don't want your foot. Seriously, your foot is supposed to be in 11B.
A shoe.
Why is it in 10B? Whatever. And people who think, okay. Let's talk about children for a moment, okay? I, for one, had a child that when he flew, people would see me coming. And they're like, oh Lord, whatever. But again, I'm bougie. Y'all won't say that. My son has never flown coach. He's always been first class. And we get on the plane, and this is when I was holding him in my lap, and people look like, oh shit, whatever. I'm gonna be sitting next to, excuse my French. I'm
Oh
gonna be sitting
snap!
next to whatever. So, but people always said when we would land, your son is the quietest son, boy. He has not. I mean, he
Hmm.
just didn't. I mean, I didn't. It's like he was not a loud, rambunctious kid. So I want to know why people feel, and I don't mind sitting next to your child if your child behaves. Why is it that people feel that because they're a child, they don't have to behave? Is that what I'm saying? Like,
I have seen this quite a lot. I've seen it on TikTok. A few months ago, it was a rapper who dragged Tiny and Ti's daughter or whatever because it was a red eye. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and the child was making noise, and she came under so much fire because people were like, kids gonna be kids and so on and so forth. And I think that people really just hold on to that kids gonna be kids thing. No, no. There are some people who discipline their children well enough that they will sit still for that flight. They will be quiet for that flight. And you know that your kid is, every parent knows who their child is. You know your child is a problem. Don't go there. That's your child, nobody else's child, and they should not have to bear the brunt of it.
so should people take alternative means of transportation? And the reason why I say this is because when you get on Amtrak, if you're in a coach seat, if you pay for a coach seat, you have the coach seat and you have your business class. Business is usually the quiet car, okay? And if you're traveling with children, excuse me, they're putting you in coach where it's
Right.
louder, whatever, So if you know that your child, for whatever reason, they can't sit still on that 3 hour flight, that 4 hour flight, should they take the train that's going to take them longer? But I mean, what do you do? Or should there be a flight? I mean, this may sound silly, whatever. Should there be like a kids flight or
I
I
think
mean,
so.
I don't know. I mean, something where
I,
people don't have to listen to your children, or should the plane be divided where children are in the back? You automatically, if you have children, you're automatically sitting in the back and it's quieter towards the front.
I think so. And I don't see why not. Because, okay, I have a child. I got a 3-year-old child. You don't have any children. Your child is grown. Why should you paid for a ticket just like I paid for a ticket? That doesn't mean that I get, just like I don't want your feet next to me. You don't want to hear my child for 4 hours. We both paid our money. So there's no, and I do think that they should start having flights where they say, hey, this specific flight is set up for families.
Yeah.
Because why not? This specific flight is set up for families. So if you're traveling with children, take this flight. Now, I know it's unrealistic. Hey, you got to be in Chi Town at 6 p.m. You can't catch that flight. Okay, well, ma'am, if you are going to bring your child on this flight, you're going to have to be charged upcharge in the event that your child disturbs the other passengers.
I think that makes more sense. Like a charge an extra fee
You
because
get charged.
there's no way you're going to divide the
So
plane.
but
There's no
is
way they can do that.
okay, but are you going to? So you're automatically going to charge that fee. Then that fee is automatically going to be charged when you book your ticket
Say
because
that again.
the fee is automatically going to be charged when you book the ticket because, and the reason why I say that is because is that your incentive to make sure your child stays quiet, because if your child says something or it disrupts during the flight, if someone says, okay, ma'am, you owe us another $200, they're going to say, well, I don't have it. I mean, how are you going to collect? So you would literally they would have to pay for that when they purchase their ticket. And that's,
It's a sticky situation, but my thing is, if you're a hefty person and you have to take up a second seat, you get charged for that seat, right? Because you're disrupting something. So why shouldn't you be charged if your child is disruptive? Mars, I'm not
but
trying to
you know
be
what?
funny. I'm
No,
You know
just
what?
saying.
that reminds me of the Jill Scott and Why Did I Get Married? That's why every time like that every time I hear like someone taking up two seats, it's like that plays back in my mind. So and she looks so sad, like she didn't want to, she didn't want to move, but it's like, bro, you kind of have to do it. And
Okay, check
go ahead,
this out.
Solid.
If you have an issue with kids, pay for first class seating. Nobody should have to accommodate you because you bought the cheap seats where kids will most likely be.
Well, see,
Solid?
Smack Pops, I have to disagree with that because it's not buying the cheap seats. And again, I'm somebody who I book early and I do first class. But the bottom line is you should still be able to get on a flight, even if it's not children. I should still be able to get on a flight knowing that someone's not going to be talking loud. Yeah. Someone's not going to be disruptive. Somebody's foot is not going to be, in between the seats where I'm trying, to eat or whatever, or just sit there and your foot is between the seat. No one has the right to be disruptive. So to me, it's not about buying the cheap seats. It's me trying to get from point A to point B, just get there. I'm not disrupting you. Don't disrupt me. So why should I have to pay extra and go to first class when you should be able to bring your children or yourself, because adults are just as disruptive nowadays than children. That should be able to get on a flight without somebody yelling, screaming, well, this is America and I should be able to do this. I'm just saying.
Okay.
So
all right. I just looked up a flight just for my own. Now I'm going on vacation. My aunt lives in Georgia. I would be flying out of Newark, New Jersey. Now, I just found a flight, 6 a.m. Flight leaves at 6 a.m., 8:12 a.m. Now, 6 o'clock in the morning, I have to be on that flight. 6 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday. I ain't up yet. But 2 hours and 12 minutes is a long time for somebody's child that is not yours to be getting on your nerves. Now, granted, the flight is $158. The most expensive flight is, well, damn. The most expensive flight, round trip, $319. But be that as it may, whether it's $150 or over $300, that is still money I paid. No excuse for a child over the age of 3 acting up. They're entirely too old to be acting up. My kids were well disciplined as infants and toddlers. They flew a lot. We got complimented all the time. Okay, and I'm not mad at that either.
That's what it goes
some
back
parents
to.
Some parents have that with their kid. Their kid, no, you better not. You better sit there and eat them graham crackers and be quiet, or else it's gonna be me and you.
I mean, right, and this and
that's
this
what it goes back to,
and this what it comes back to is like, how come the parents are not, doing something because no one wants to hear it? And again, I'm not just, no, I'm sorry. You should be able, and especially if you know that you are going to have a problem with your child. You know, every time you fly, that little Johnny, for whatever reason, he's hyper, he's running up and down the aisle, whatever. do what I have to do sometimes when I fly with one of my dogs. I have to give him knockout pills. Where he, I mean, I am totally serious because he's a very hyper dog. He will not, he will whine, he will do everything like it's like, what do? I go to the vet. This is the situation. I have to sedate him, and he is out from literally from the time I'm sitting in the terminal to the time I get off the plane. He is knocked out. So
Okay.
maybe maybe and if people are against that, hell, they're giving their children things for PTSD and everything else. They're giving them all kinds of drugs for that. So you can't. I mean, so whatever.
Melatonin. They
But
got melatonin for kids. I'm not mad.
so but I do want to bring up something that Shine Lady says. Hold on, where is it? She said right here. Let's go to the terminal for a moment. I'm tired of people FaceTiming at the airport next to me and there's no other seats to move. I don't want to hear your conversation. So again, should you, and see, again, it's like when you go into the market, when you go into the store, people are like having these conversations. Have you ever heard of earphones? I mean, do we have to hear the conversation?
Yeah, what is this? So yeah, I had to and I just was
Right.
sitting there like
And I think that's where discretion comes in. It's all about the person. If I'm right here, if I know we're on the show and I just get a phone call, I'm gonna be like, hey, real quick, I gotta take the phone call, whatever the case may be. No, people will answer the phone like you just said, Dre. Oh yeah, hey, my girlfriend, she cheated on me and all this other stuff. And hey, like we don't want to hear that, bro.
like this.
You know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear that. And I think, like I said, that's where discretion comes in. You're really gonna sit here. I mean, hey, you might not know the person again, but the person is 6 o'clock in the morning. It's an early flight. You probably already afraid to get on the plane. Things like that. And again, a lovely butterfly said one word: earpods. It's like it shouldn't even be a debate anymore. Like, put your headphones in and eat. But then even with that, you'll put the headphones in and they're still talking loud. Still, you can't hear the other person, but then they're just talking loud. I just think that, again, it's so disgusting, bro.
It is. It's like just
I hate it.
no,
I hate it.
just no courtesy for the person who is next to you. But y'all, I want to play this video. Y'all know I try to play these videos now. So hopefully I do this right. Okay, hold on a second here. All right.
On planes. Go get them, really. On an 8-hour flight from Germany to New Jersey, passengers endure a 3-year-old child expressing his dislike for, well, everything. His mom can be heard trying to quiet things down by asking for Wi-Fi access even before takeoff.
Let me get his iPad and his Wi-Fi going. We don't have a Wi-Fi connection.
All around them, a plane full of unsettled passengers.
Your mom's right here.
It's okay. Sonny, come over here.
The boy even took in the view from the top of his seat. The exuberant little boy is not done showcasing his limited vocal range. The aircraft finally lands 8 hours later in Newark, New Jersey. The weary passengers drag their carry-on luggage and what's left of their eardrums toward the exit.
Come over here.
But the 3-year-old hits those operatic notes to the very end. I'm Robert.
Okay, so
I got tired just looking at that.
I mean, so you're going to sit here and tell me about buying cheap seats, and we're not, and this is not even just a 3-hour flight. This is an 8-hour flight. So I'm supposed to listen to your whiny kid. I'm supposed to listen to your whiny kid, and you're, oh, let me get the Wi-Fi. That kid was not going to listen to Wi-Fi. He's not going to eat Cheerios. He wasn't going to do any of that. That child was unruly, and that mother literally should have kept him in Germany, wherever they were. He never should have been on that flight unless, I'm sorry, he was sedated. Because,
Smack Pop says,
I mean, you
see
sorry.
this? Smack Pop says, if you can say, have you ever heard of earphones about someone using their phone in a public place, then why don't you put earphones on when flying, both public places? So I ask you, for 8 hours, the whole flight has to wear headphones.
Has to accommodate your child. Has to accommodate one person. Yep. So Smack Pops, I'm going to kind of wade in here, and I'm just going to ask you, do you fly with children who are loud and disruptive? I mean, because I am sorry, when people pay their money, people have paid money. I don't care if it's $1 for the flight or you're paying $1,000 or $10,000 for a flight. You should be able to know that you can go and get on the plane and have a reasonable amount of can I just get where I'm going? Just like if you go to the movie theater. Okay, I understand there are movies that are for children. Yes, you're going to go take your child to that movie and kids going to be yelling, screaming, whatever. I understand that. You are taking your child to that particular movie. But if you bring your child to, say, a rated R movie or something that they really would not be interested in, and they're yelling and screaming, you need to get up and take your child out. So
and that's what I was gonna say. First of all, I just got a headache. Number one, I got a headache watching that because that's number one. Number two, shout out to North New Jersey, Brick City. And again, number three, this is my thing because I come from this era. Again, and Shy Lady said it. I'm gonna need you to put that comment back on the screen. It says, "Whoop his ass." And listen, I'm not listen. I was really in my mind, I'm looking for a belt during that whole video because I'm like, bro, I would never have gotten away with something like that ever. Ever.
And why should I have to have earphones on for an entire flight? I mean, seriously, why do I have to, have earphones on for an entire flight?
And my thing is, even if you do have the earphones on, this kid is screaming at the top of his lungs. So I don't know if whatever you're listening to or whatever you're watching is going to necessarily block that out. Again, that just goes back to the parents. There has to be some kind of discipline right here. Discipline. I see the word on the screen, discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I work at a resort. Man, the kids, it's like the kids come in there and they just do whatever. We have rules. You can't do this. You can't do that. But again, the parents are standing right there. They're just watching it on their phones. And then you're just looking at the parents like, I know you got rules at your house. I know they can't do half the shit that they're doing here at your house. But they still
that's just it. But that's just it. See, 86. What year? 96.
96.
Solid. We ain't going there with you. I know better. But I think all three of us grew up at a time and with parents that wasn't acceptable at home. So it wasn't acceptable in public. So yeah, why should 8 hours is a long time.
And that went on the entire flight
before takeoff.
At some point, there has to be like, listen, ma'am, we're gonna have to stop at this destination. Like something has to give because again, like you said, the whole flight is now uncomfortable, and now they're annoyed.
Right. So again, this is what I'm saying. So the whole flight has to wear earphones or earplugs because of that child.
And if we notice, there were other children on that flight that were not doing that.
Hello. Exactly. There were other children on that flight who sat there and they're looking like, what's going on with him over there? Smack Pop says kids will be kids. Studies show whoopings at times traumatizes kids, and we wonder why they grow up with anger issues. Some noise is excessive, but other times is manageable with earphones. So again, Smack Pops, I'm asking you for an 8-hour flight, everybody on the flight who's uncomfortable, which is probably the majority of the flight, all supposed to wear earphones because your child will not sit down and he's standing up screaming. That is a parental problem. That is a parental problem.
Yeah, I think that's what it goes back to. I mean, I'm going to circle the block. That's what it goes back to. Period.
I want to share one more video, and this is on the extreme side. And I do not agree with this at all, but this is on the extreme side. So y'all check this out and tell me what you all think. In-flight, violent passenger hits a crying toddler. So hold on for a second. Let me.
Air rage making headlines tonight. The passenger accused of hitting the little boy sitting beside him on his mother's lap. This alleged case just one in a series of stunning meltdowns. Tonight, ABC's Gio Benitez with new details from the FBI and what this most recent passenger under fire is now planning next.
When Jessica Bennett and her 19-month-old adopted son Jonah boarded a flight from Minneapolis to Atlanta just days ago, she never expected to tell this violent story.
He had came at him like that, and so it was, it came down that way at Jonah's eye right here.
Jessica and FBI investigators say another passenger, 60-year-old Joe Hundley, assaulted her little boy on that flight. When Jonah started to cry, Hundley reportedly told Mom, "Shut that N-word baby up."
And I said, "What did you just say?" And he was so drunk that he fell onto my face and his mouth moved over to my ear.
Then she says Hundley slapped the child.
When I had looked at Jonah's face, his eye was swollen here and it was bleeding.
Authorities say cases of air rage are up about 30%. Earlier this year, a passenger was so drunk and unruly, he was bound with duct tape by fellow passengers. And those memorable outbursts from flight attendants seemingly fed up, but air rage incidents involving children, almost unheard of. Tonight, Jonah's dad has a message for Hundley.
I hope he's embarrassed. I hope he feels ashamed.
And the FBI telling us tonight Hundley is expected to turn himself in to face that assault charge. Hundley's attorney says we shouldn't rush to judgment. He plans to plead not guilty.
We're going to turn now to that.
What a shock.
Okay. So, aside from the whole N-word thing, but are people going to get to the point where they're tired of your child screaming and hollering? Could someone on that 8-hour flight have just gotten so fed up that they hit that kid?
They could have.
That the fact that that air rage is out of control. And again, it's not just children. It's the fact that, again, your foot is here. Can you just put your foot down, please? And most people usually ask nicely. They usually ask nicely, and then the person just goes off. So, but when it comes to noise and everything, and again, I'm not just talking about children. When it just comes to noise, period. If you have on headphones and you're singing out loud or something, it's like, can you stop? Can you wait until we land? Can you,
Okay.
I'm gonna let y'all have the floor first with this one, because
I don't agree with hitting somebody else's child. And okay, fine. Smack Pop says whooping kids traumatizes kids, and we wonder why they grow up with anger issues. Okay, dude, whatever. And I'm going to say it with all of my eyes rolling, because you know what? Yeah, maybe our parents got some things. They didn't get everything right, but they didn't get everything wrong either. And we knew better. Okay? Now that I've said that, whatever. Take and do with that what you will. Air rage is up. We have to remember, we all were locked in a house for 1 year. We do not know. It's like we lost our humanity. And it's just like we say, hey, correct your kids before the Department of Corrections corrects them. Nobody wants to be aggravated for 8 hours. That's a whole shift at work for somebody's child to be
Yes.
yelling on a flight.
Yes.
If you have to take a red eye at 5 o'clock in the morning, that okay, you already know your child is tired, they're cranky, whatever. And I am not for spoiling kids rotten, but whatever you have to do to keep them quiet, just give it to them for those 3 hours you're on that flight.
But okay, but let me ask this: children who behave like that, um, considering they went from Germany to New Jersey,
Mhm.
um, I bet that wasn't the first time that child was like that on a flight. And
Oh,
and I'm going to go to people who I'm not saying okay, there are some kids that fly for the first time and they freak out. Okay, but you also have what I always say about a lot of people: repeat offenders. So if you
yes.
know that your child is going to act that way again, then I'm sorry. Again, I say you need to go to see your doctor and say, my child is very anxious when they're on a plane. Is there something you can give me where I can calm him down? You know, the flight's going to be X amount of hours, you know, whatever. And that's what you do. Because again, I paid good money to get on my flight, and it's not just and smack pops. And I'm going to say this: he just didn't ruin the flight for the people in the cheap seats in coach. He ruined it for the people who were also in first class. So everybody heard that kid screaming. So people spend hard money. I mean, it's hard earned money to just be able to exist, to be able to just, can I just do this? And plus, if you're somebody who probably saved up your money, that you're going to take this flight, whatever, and
Work
you're
overtime.
you're excited, right? And you're excited to go and whatever, and your flight is ruined by that. I'm sorry, don't tell me to wear headphones. That no, no, no. Do
Mars?
I do I go to the? I'm sorry. Let me just say one more thing. Do I go to the airline and want to sue them and want my money back, or is the parent, Mars?
I think it's hard to disagree with that because I'm someone who it doesn't. First of all, again, that was 8 hours straight. You know what I'm saying? And me, I would have got annoyed after. I would have let it go for at least an hour. Then after an hour, so I'm like, yo, we gotta do something here because it's 8 hours. So I think that um I just think that, you know what I'm saying? I think you have to sue the parents. I think you could sue the airline too because nobody on the airline, the fact that that was able to go on the whole flight is unacceptable.
But
Unacceptable.
but considering that child was behaving like that before they got off, because remember they said that she was asking for Wi-Fi before
Yeah.
they even left, before they even took off. So if that child had been removed from the flight, should you have been removed from the flight and say, we'll book you on another flight once your child calms down and you do something, we'll get you on another flight, but you cannot take this flight.
I think so. I think so. Again, if it started before the flight, then this is already going to be an issue. And
Mm-hmm.
again, if the mother isn't doing anything to rectify it before we even take off, that has to be that can't happen. That can't happen. It can't happen.
Because here's the thing. If you're inebriated or too intoxicated, they will not let you on the flight,
Right,
or they will
exactly.
ask you to get
Exactly.
off.
Mm-hmm.
They will. I worked in an airport. They will ask you
Mm-hmm.
to get off.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yes, we know kids will be kids, and you know what? Their ears pop, especially if it's their first time.
Mm-hmm.
Once they
Mm-hmm.
pull that plane back and then take off. So, I'm. None of us are being heartless. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
any place, even if you're on a train. And to me, the train is worse because it takes longer
Yeah,
on the train.
yeah,
I mean,
and it's
I'm just
more
saying.
uncomfortable.
I mean, I'm just saying. What is the alternative? Because what you just said. Because when Southwest used to have that show where they would show, when they had their reality show with whatever, and they had this man that they would not allow on the plane because he had a bad odor. Now they were not rude or anything to him. What they did was they went and got him Southwest clothes. and they gave him a big bag for him to put his own clothes in, and they provided him. Somebody went and got some soap or whatever. They said, "Can you please just go to the washroom and whatever?" And he cleaned up, but it was like, we cannot allow you on the plane because you're going to offend other passengers. So if they're not going to allow you on the plane because of your body odor, or they're not going to allow you on the plane because you've been drinking before you got on the plane, or you get on the plane and you're cursing out the stewardess, or I shouldn't say stewardess, the flight attendant, whatever. I'm just saying, what makes your kid any different? Why should your child be able to fly, but I have body odor, but you're telling me that I can't get on the plane, or I've been drinking too much. I was sitting at that bar across from the terminal, but you're not letting me on because I'm kind of drunk, whatever. You're not letting me on, but you're going to let this screaming kid on, and you're going to tell me put on earphones. So does everybody have to put something up their nose if someone is on the plane who smells? And Shy Lady, before you even say something, I know you were sitting next to somebody who for 3 or 4 hours, who had body odor on a plane. So are we all supposed to now take stuff where we have to smell certain things? Because really, where does it stop? Where does your personal responsibility kick in and you take care of business?
Fair enough.
All I would say to that is, again, I got to circle the block again. It's a level of discretion you have to have. I keep using that word because it's so true here. You have to understand that, nobody's going to want to make you uncomfortable. You wouldn't want to be uncomfortable. And, the true mantra is do unto others, treat people how you would want to be treated. And I think that right here, that makes a lot of sense. And it's prevalent because, again, if I don't want to be annoyed in a flight, I wouldn't want to do it to someone else. You know what I'm saying? And I think that what Shy Lady said earlier was true. I think if they're over a certain age, then this shouldn't even be a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now Smack Pop says the difference is one is a child who has to be taught as they get older to fully comprehend what's going on versus a grown adult who has life experiences and maturity. Big differences. Can't compare to. Yes, you can, because the parent is an adult. So you know what you should do. You are the adult. You should know what you should do with your child, but that's just my personal opinion. And y'all, we are past the 1:15 mark, and even though this was supposed to be a fun show, I do think that it was, whatever. It did get serious, but but I think that we touched on stuff, that people, that we talk about. What did Lovely Butterfly say? That's the same for the bus. Some drivers will not move the bus until that child is under control by their parents, right? So you are the adult. So but anyway, Mars. It was a pleasure.
Oh man, I appreciate you guys having me on. Again, my Saturdays are always open for you guys. So whenever you guys want me on the show, just give me a call and I'll be here. Of course. Thank you so much for having me on again.
Well, thank you for coming. And Dre, I can't remember. I know we had our schedule for the rest of November.
Lord, I don't know. We got a lot of topics.
Okay, November 18th, which is next week. We do have, I can't remember what we're doing, but we are going to be on next week. But November 25th, that is the weekend of Thanksgiving. We are taking that week off. So that weekend, November 25th, we will not be on. But we will be back on next week, November 18th. I cannot remember what the topic is going to be because we have so many topics.
Yes, we do.
Have so many topics. But
that's never an issue. That's never an issue, lady. Never. That's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. Oh, thank you, Lovely Butterfly. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, guys, and again, and Smack Pops. I hope you did not take offense or whatever, but we have our differences, and everyone, want everybody to say or whatever they feel, as long as no one's being disrespectful or whatever. But we have some topics where it's going to push some buttons. We have some topics coming up, and
Yeah, we welcome you to come back. We welcome opposition, and it's friendly differences because we can still have our differences and be friendly, and
yeah,
we
Thank
appreciate
you. Thank you.
everyone.
I was waiting for Solid to do it, but thank you,
yeah,
Dred. You did it.
yeah.
I
I
was
mean,
waiting,
yeah,
I was waiting
Yo,
for it. Thank you.
we
yeah,
appreciate everybody's input because we can't learn from each other unless we learn from
right.
each other.
And that's the
Okay, so
premise of the entire show. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. So,
You have
um,
your differences, and they are friendly. That's what I was looking
so
for.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like that. Thank
so
you.
and also on this show, it was always, we're going to talk about things that other people don't want to talk about. We are going to go there. We're going to
yes.
talk about the things that people that they whisper about. And Dred and I, we constantly text each other like, well, what about showing this? What about showing this? Whatever. I mean, it's like we're constantly, because we have some topics that we really want to do some serious deep diving into. And some people may not like it, but there are things that, you need to talk about. And people are so afraid to talk about things. People are so afraid to disagree,
Yes.
So,
Agreed. Agreed.
but anyway, y'all. So, Dre, you want to take us out?
Yes, we will be. I want to thank everyone for being here. Monday Night Mars, always a pleasure, my brother. Everybody in the comments, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Check me out on TikTok, same name, Dread Empath. You won't be disappointed. If you want to be on the show and talk to us about anything, hit me up on TikTok. I'm always there. I want everybody to stay safe and be well. And as always, peace in the streets.
Peace, everyone. Bye.